Character design. Just like the purple dementia links on my Google search history, I'm sure I've done this before. Yet, my friend Trey told me that I didn't done it good enough. And so here I am to clarify my character design process more specifically. Now with guided steps so you too can make a little guy that lives in a blue world. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and out. Brainstorming. The first step for me is to gather just a few rough sketches together. Characters are usually written before they're designed visually, but sometimes a character will spring to mind on looks alone, and that's what happened here. Now, in a professional environment, you'll have a director of some sort who will tell you what to do and why you're doing it wrong. This is all a part of the process, because ultimately, your job as a character designer is to make sure that their vision comes to life. In this instance, I'm my own director, and so the only voice I need feedback from is my own when I forget to take my brain medicine. These sketches aren't based upon anything usually, except maybe a pose reference and whatever's on my mind. Before this though, you'll need to know what or who it is you're designing. Body type. Today I'm designing a vigilante type character who has these big gauntlets which shoot outwards like pistons. The setting he lives in is reminiscent of the 1920s, and he's a brawler with a beefy upper body and less defined lower body. In essence, a golden age comics villain through the eyes of a steampunk world, which everybody loves steampunk. And I found this design by just starting to sketch and letting my mind wander until I found something that it can cling on to. No mystery about the process here. Next, I gathered reference photos from the internet. I found a biker jacket from the 20s or 30s, a set of antique biker pants, and a mask from some kind of red cartoon character. Maybe he's from The Incredibles, I don't know. All of these were mostly unchanged except for the sleeves and the zipper area of the cock. The fun stuff was the actual fist, based on Hellboy, body proportions, based on The Incredibles, and mask of the character, based on that one, like, Marvel character. Since I know the direction that I want to go in, I take ideas I want on the page and search for real-world versions of those things. Hey, listen to me. Even if you think you don't need photo reference when designing a character, actually, you're right. Personally, though, when I can see how a real-world thing works, I can better understand how my own thing works, because this is the only reality I know of with which I can find reference in. All this to say, I like Kaneda's jacket and biker outfits, and classic comic books, and so I wanted to use those. Clothing. Starting with the mask, after sketching this design, I played around with a helmet design and another mask which was much looser. Unlike watching VeggieTales on bath salts, though, sometimes your first thought is your best thought, but regardless, you'll end up spending a lot of precious company hours fiddling around with a design that you already nailed right off the bat. The jacket I found was weirdly perfect for the character I had in mind, so I just changed the sleeves to give that rolled up look which I adore. I blame Spike Spiegel. This jacket was allegedly from the Great Depression, but I can't find an actual source on it, so who knows. I like the pocket and the collar, both of which I feel show the practicality of the character as well as the rugged personality. The pants are biker pants from the 20s. Epic. Throughout the design process, I'm asking myself a few questions, such as, what does this design tell about the character's personality? And what does this design tell about the character's world? The fists are just basic cylinders because it contrasts with the more Art Nouveau type world I built him to inhabit. As a villain, or anti-villain, or anti-hero, or vigilante, or whatever you want to call him, his technology would be homemade but machined by himself. There wouldn't be too much need for artistic flourishes, except, of course, the question marks. Speaking of which, this character, I feel very much wants to put on a show. His actions fuel this persona, which he uses to gain notoriety, fame, or, in most cases, infamy. Anarchist is the word that comes to mind. Therefore, the question mark he wears is a call to action of sorts, one which draws attention to him and gets people to ask questions, inadvertently getting them to ponder this man's actions and further play into his anarchic nature. It also looks dumb, like this is something Polka Dot Man or like Kite Man would wear, and I'm all about it. Conclusion. And that's just about it. I don't think this classifies as a tutorial, because I don't think I can tell you exactly how to design characters. Your experiences and preferences will always shine through in the work that you create, and while I can give you rough examples of how things are done in terms of anatomy and structure and layout and color theory, I can never truly tell you how to do it. Just sketch something, explore it for a bit, and keep asking questions about the character throughout until you've answered them all. At long last, the director will approve it, Or maybe just decide to go another direction and never contact you or reply to your emails ever again. Hopefully you ask for payment up front.